What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'm gonna do a brand new deck profile on the Star Dragon World Cosmo Dragoon deck from the brand new set Crossing Generations. So this is the brand new Dragon Knights for Star Dragon World. Apparently they are really fun to play, and they are the latest Star Dragon World archetype to be released in Crossing Generations. They actually feature more on the top deck skills, which means you'll be using cards to combo and to rearrange your top deck so that you will be able to check Cosmo Dragons with their abilities and get lots of pluses. So this deck is really fun to play. I've actually played this a bit, and I'm going to show you guys how to play this deck and enjoy. So first up, the size 3 we play is 3 copies of Audis. So Audis is a size 3 Cosmo Dragon. So this deck generally causes a lot of size 2s and 1s, but time to time you actually go to size 3s due to their huge abilities. So what Audis does is, he has a gauge of 2 gauge cost. When this card enters the field, destroy a monster on your opponent's field. So once you enter the field, you're really getting a plus. Second ability is his activate ability. So during your main phase, you can choose a card on your opponent's field, target it, then review the top card of the deck. If the card reviewed is a Cosmo Dragoon, destroy the chosen card. So the fun fact about this deck is almost all cards in this deck is Cosmo Dragoons. This is very important because you want to maximize the number of Cosmo Dragons in your deck so that you'll be able to consistently pull off and gain pluses. So it is a wonderful effect because one card is able to get rid of 2 cards, and he has a very nice double attack. And then put the card reviewed to the bottom of the deck. You may only use this ability once per turn. So that is the size 3. Very good for monster removal. Is basically something like a Inferno Armor Dragon. So that's size 3. So for the size 2s, we play 4 copies of Clark. So Clark is a triple rare from the set. He is very good. Cost, put the top card of the deck into this soul and pay 1 gauge. So activate. During your main phase, review the top card of the deck. If the card reviewed is a Cosmo Dragoon, so very high chance, put it into your hand. So basically you're drawing that Cosmo Dragon for free. And for this turn, this card gets double attack. Size 2 monster, draw a card with double attack. Sign me up, man. And he has move and soul guard. It's an amazing card. If it's not, just put it at the bottom of the deck, and you can only use this ability once per turn. So that's the size 2 card. More size 2s to come is 2 copies of Burrow. So what Burrow does is cost 1 gauge and put 1 top card of deck into his soul. When this card attacks, so this ability only activates when it attacks. When this card attacks, review the top card of deck. If it's a Cosmo Dragoon, put it in this card soul. If not, put it in the bottom of the deck. So basically you put more Cosmo Dragon into this guy's soul, so you can stack a lot of soul into him. So basically getting more soul into a card means you're getting more pluses, because this monster, which will be protecting you with move, will also gain more cards to protect it, so in turns protecting your life. Alright, that's a size 2 we play. Size 1 we play is 4 copies of the triple rare Heylin. So Heylin is his art is simply stunning. Another +1 card. When this card enters the field, review the top card of the deck. If the card reviewed is a Cosmo Dragoon, put it into your hand and draw a card. So you're drawing 2 cards for free as long as you check a Cosmo Dragoon. If not, put it into your bottom of the deck. So Lunar Gate can only activate once per turn. Right? More size 1s. 3 copies of Bester. So Bester is when this card enters the field, look at top 3 cards of the deck and put the card. You can choose to put them on top or on the bottom in any order. No, first you can put any of them into your bottom of the deck in any order, then put the top rest into the top deck in any order. So basically you'll be able to rearrange the top and bottom deck. The one advice is to put more send the non-Cosmo Dragons to the bottom of the deck so that you'll be able to check more Cosmo Dragons. But take note that if you want to draw like something like a negate, which is not a Cosmo Dragons, you could like use Bester, set up, okay, put a Cosmo Dragon, then a non-Cosmo Dragon, so that you can review a Cosmo Dragon, then add the non-Cosmo Dragon to your hand with a draw ability. Yeah, there's some this deck needs a little bit of thinking to play, a little bit of planning, but it's very fun. Small size 1s is 2 copies of Norton, AA2 Norton. So what she does is when this card attacks, review the top card of the deck, and if it is a Cosmo Dragoon, put it into your gauge and gain 1 life. If not, put it at the bottom of the deck. So a very nice stats 4-2-1, a size 1 monster, which give you 1 life and 1 gauge every time you attack. This deck generally gets you a lot of healing and gauging because Cosmo Dragons are so common in this deck. Alright, that's the size 1s. Size 0s, we play 4 copies of Young, RF Young. She is also our buddy monster. So she's a very, very good buddy monster because she is able to run to the bottom of the deck and she doesn't clog up your field because this deck actually plays weapons. So what she does is, at the end of the battle of this card, you may put this card from your field to the bottom of the deck. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of the deck and put the number of cards from among them to the bottom of the deck in any order, then put the rest of them on top of the deck in any order. So basically rearranging your deck and sending non-Cosmo Dragon to the bottom of the deck. So yeah. So it is very important to use the ability, even though it may seem like, oh, why would I use her ability since it's going to be end of my turn? Because some of the negates you use, right, actually, if you get Cosmo Dragons, you'll be able to plus. You will be able to negate attack, then gain some awesome abilities with her plus and with the Cosmo Dragon top deck skills. Next is 3 copies of Tip Tree. So what she does is when this card enters the field, put up to 1 Cosmo Dragon from a drop zone into the top of the deck. So that means you're guaranteed checking a Cosmo Dragon if you're going during your main phase. So she's just basically set up. That's the monsters. Now for spells, we play 4 copies of Fifth Focus. So Fifth Focus is our draw engine. What it does is you may only cast this card if you have a Cosmo Dragon on your field. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge. Look at the top 5 cards of the deck and put them on top of your deck in any order, then draw a card. So yeah, put a non-Cosmo Dragon on top first, then draw a card. So like that, you know that you can know the next 4 cards, what the next 4 cards are, so you will be safe to use all your Cosmo Dragon and plus them off. Very, very fun card to use. Some defensive spells, 4 copies of Cosmo Heal Protection. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you don't have a monster in the center and you have a Cosmo Dragoon. Counter, nullify the attack, then review the top card of the deck. If it's a Cosmo Dragoon, put it to your hand, so you're drawing 1 card and you gain 1 life. So it's basically something like Arc Dragon Shield with no gauge cost and gain a free life. It's like a Green Dragon Shield as well. Simply amazing. 4 copies of Cosmo Charge Protection. Another shield for us. You may only cast this card during attack during your opponent's turn and you do not have a monster in your center. So this is an open center deck. And if you have a Cosmo Dragon on your field, counter, nullify attack, and look at the top 2 cards of the deck. Put 1 of them into your gauge and 1 of them into your top of the deck. So put the non-Cosmo Dragon to the gauge, obviously. So you can set up your next turn as well. Actually, you could actually just put anything. So maybe you see some non-Cosmo Dragon you want to draw your next turn. You could also put it. You could also rearrange it. It's based on what you think is best in that situation. 4 copies of Gauge Adder, Space Agent. You may only cast it if you have a Cosmo Dragoon. Put the top 3 cards of the deck into your gauge, then look at the top card of the deck and put it into your top or bottom of the deck. So yeah, if it's a non-Cosmo Dragoon, just put it to your bottom so that you'll be, and if it's a Cosmo Dragoon, just let it stay there so that you can get pluses off. Now let's go on to our weapons. We have some pretty awesome weapons. 4 copies of Star Dragon Lance Black Clock. So Black Clock is a rare weapon we have. Equip cost, pay 1 life. Counter, during your turn, choose a Cosmo Dragon on your field and you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, review the top card of the deck. If it's a Cosmo Dragon, restand the chosen card. So very good because, for example, let's say, okay, Young is gone. Let's say Haynes attacked already. You can use this ability, review a Cosmo Dragon from the top of the deck. So review a Cosmo Dragon and restand Haynes. So yeah, additional attacks, pretty fun. So that's pretty much it. So you just restand for free. Every turn you'll be able to restand 1 card. Next, 2 copies of Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is a common weapon, 1 gauge cost. When this card attacks, look at top 3 cards of the deck and put them on top of the deck in any order. So this guarantees that you'll be able to check your Cosmo Dragoons for your trigger effect. Right, for impacts, we play 3 copies of Dragon Skill Stardust Maneuver. Stardust Maneuver is pretty awesome. It is a 4 crit impact with it's a 4 damage impact with 2 gauge. He has a bit of errata because it reads here, if you have 4 life or less, it is your opponent have 4 life or less. So you can only cast this card if your opponent has 4 life or less, and you have a size 2 or greater Cosmo Dragoon on your field. 2 gauge. Review top card. If it's a Cosmo Dragoon, deal 4 to your opponent. 2 gauge for 4 damage is simply amazing. So yeah. So that's pretty much my Cosmo Dragoon deck. I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile. If you'd like to see more Buddy Fight deck profiles from the brand new set, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'll bring you the best Buddy Fight decks. So, peace out and love you guys. Rawr.